Hello, everyone. I've been an entrepreneur for 21 years. I've done about 4 firms. Today, I'm going to speak about 2 failures that I've had, 2 successes that I've had, and all the fun in between. My firm belief is when things go south, there's always hope. It's all right. So, a week back, while I was preparing for this talk, my kids shared a joke with me. And I thought it's very relevant for you folks to see it as well. What do you call a human whose left half is cut out like this? Goodness. I didn't have answers. And then I asked them, what do you call? They said he's called all right. All right. Right? That's a way to look at the failure, I suppose, isn't it? It's all right. It's okay to be a failure. But on a serious note, what happens to people who are resilient? People who are righteous. They do everything 100% in their control. They leave nothing to chance, but still fail. What happened to them? What then? Right? So let's see. Let's do a wee bit of time travel and then figure out what has happened in the past. I'll take you to mythology for a moment. In mythology, kings who do not have kids, who do not have sons, I must say, are frowned upon. They're a failure, right? What good is a king if they do not have an heir for their own dynasty? So they will have a feeling of failure, which is terrible. Each one of us would have had that feeling at least once in life, right? So young Dasharatha Maharaj, in his childhood, was cursed. In his younger age, he was cursed that he cannot have children. He was devastated. Without having children, he was not okay by it. So what did he do? He did a row of rituals and gods were pleased. So what happened? Gods grant him a wish, and not just one, but 4 sons were born. Bingo, right? There it is. He was a failure. He showed resilience, and there was success. Awesome. Now, miracles have always happened in mythology, stories, movies. Now, the question is, does it really happen in real life? Did it happen in any of your lives? Did it happen in mine? Why not, right? It would be awesome. So, let me take a step back and take you to my story. Like I said, I've been an entrepreneur for a long, long time. I graduated from Computer Science, Harvey College of Engineering, the best in Bangalore, graduated top honors with that. Right back in 2003, when entrepreneurship was a very, very new topic, nobody did startups. A friend of mine and then I dreamt big. We wanted to start a startup straight out of college. We started a firm called Talentify, forsaking cushy offers that we had in the campus. So now Talentify we were in the business of conducting exams to students like you. Students would pay us to take an exam. They would pay us again to retake an exam. This is just like GMAT, but just for placements, right? And companies would pay us for every successful wire. There was money all around. It worked like a charm until it didn't. We were too immature to handle the operations. We forgot that question bank was the DNA of the firm, right? We scrambled it. A year later, we had to shut it down. It's all right. It was my mistake. I was immature. I failed it. No big deal, right? Undeterred by the failure, I started another startup called Jawbehive. This time I said I will do everything right. I designed the product beautifully. Web 2.0. Jawbehive, if you know what LinkedIn is today, what Glassdoor does today, Jawbehive was supposed to be that much earlier than what they did, right? So market was like really going well for us. We were breaking free. It looked like our moment. Revenue had kick-started. VCs had started taking liking. It felt like our big moment. We could be bigger than what LinkedIn is today, right? That's a feeling that we had. Everything was going right. Success was imminent. But all of a sudden, global recession happens, right? We did everything right. Recession hit us. It consumed us 100%, devoured us. We were like, this was not supposed to happen to us, right? So we did everything. We were the righteous folks. How can this happen to us? Determined, we battled on. What did we do? We said, we will not take salaries, right? It's okay. We will pay the employees. That's what the best of the entrepreneurs do, right? They take care of the employees first. But personally, if I step back, how do I run my own life? No money, right? So I did something which I had never done in life, and my parents probably would not be happy at all. Right? I went to the nearby grocery store and then said, I have no money to pay today. I will borrow groceries from you. The gentleman was kind. He let me be. So we battled on. Recession was still long going, right? So 5, 6 months into the borrowing, commotion, one day the grocery guy said, enough, Sandeep. Unless you pay back, clear your dues, no more groceries. I had absolutely no money even then. What do? I didn't want to go back to my parents. I didn't want to go back to my friends with a face of failure written all over me. Right? So I felt, I had this feeling. What have I done with my life? I was supposed to be a brilliant student with a glorious career. Right? Yet, there I was, broke. Broke is the word. Right? Had this feeling, things are not going right. That night, I vividly remember, it was December 31st, 2008, when world was celebrating. I silently walked up to the terrace of my room, sat there, staring at the dark night. I didn't know what to do. I've had 2 failures. What is ahead? I was lost in the thoughts. Absolute voidness. I don't know if you guys have experienced zero thoughts in your mind. That's what happened. I sat there the entire night not knowing what to do. Just silence. Right? I know what you guys are thinking. There were thunders, starry night, dark night, gods would come. I wish that would happen, right? That didn't happen. Or at least I thought so. But something else happened. While I was sitting there in the dark night, I had a powerful thought. I realized that if I could be in such a bottomless pit of failure, bankruptcy, and still make out of it, then in the future, in the face of adversity, I will have nothing to fear. Failure, I have seen it all, right? How would it be if you think of it, right? The worst of you, the most horrible part of your life is behind you. It's not ahead of you, right? This is the thought that came to me. Exactly opposite of what was supposed to happen happened to me. I drew inordinate amount of energy, courage, and hope out of most hopeless moment of life, and then I felt relieved. Right? It felt like new life. So that night, I came down. I started my new year with a renewed confidence. Jawbehive was supposed to be shut. Nothing could be done. I did that. It felt like cutting my own limb off, but it's okay. Right? And I decided that new year that I will do another startup. Hours back, that was not a possibility at all, right? No money, no future, only failure. But that night changed. That I think is a very, very dark night, hell of a night for sure. But I drew a lot of confidence, right? So that's a night that I will remember for a long, long time. In the face of adversity, I think of that night, my courage comes back. So the next year, I took up the admission from Indian School of Business. Thankfully, SBI was offering a collateral-free loan, right? So to folks like us, it mattered. So I took up the course and I was working on business plans. Why? Because I wanted to do another startup, right? So while networking, had a great fortune of having a breakfast date with a Mr. Miracle himself. Seriously, with breakfast date with Mr. Miracle himself. Now, who is this guy? His name is Kamal D. Shah. Let me tell you a story. Back in 1997, all of 21 years, gold medalist from Usmania University, the university that you guys know really well. He was all set to go to US, just like you guys, dreaming about doing MS, masters in US, right? And he takes hepatitis B vaccine, which was mandatory at that point of time. Same day, kidneys fail. Body reacts to the vaccine and kidneys fail. Gosh, talk about dreams being shattered. His mother donates a kidney. Very soon, that fails too. Today, we understand that Kamal has an extremely rare genetic disorder called atypical HUS. Happens very, very rarely, right? So today we understand it is a hepatitis B vaccine that triggered the disease, which was latent in his body, which in turn killed the kidneys. No matter how many times you donate a kidney to him, unless atypical HUS is cured, it is not going to stay. Right? Life moved on for him. He was put on peritoneal dialysis, kind of a treatment, which allows him to be mobile. Right? So from then, 1997, from a shattered dream to have an ability to go around the country, be on holidays, he was delighted. It seems like a fantastic time. So I don't know if you guys remember, if you're even old enough to know this event, December 26, 2004. Ring a bell, gentlemen? Tsunami shook the world. Now, fate has it, Kamal is on the beach when tsunami happens. Mahabalipuram, not Chennai, has a miraculous escape out of it. Gosh. 3 rare events, extreme rarities, happening to a single gentle soul. If you meet him, you will know it, right? That is the kind of person who's all smiles, sitting in front of me. That is the person that I had breakfast with. Isn't he a Mr. Miracle? I was delighted. Life had dealt him a cruel, raw deal, yet there he was, cheerfully enjoying steaming hot plate of idli, and offers me, Sandeep, if you were to do anything in dialysis space, game on. I want to be your partner. Right? To me, it's like, wow, nothing like having a co-founder who knows your customers the most, right? Your customers are going to be kidney patients. He knows them the best. It felt like dream to me. So we took that on. We started in 2009. While I was still at ISB, I started this firm 2009 along with Vikram and Kamal. Since then till date, we've had phenomenal fun making dialysis sessions happy for every single patient whom we call as a guest today, right? From then to now, we have grown NephroPlus to be India's largest dialysis firm, Asia's largest dialysis firm, to 5th largest globally, right? I am so grateful that I had a chance to had that breakfast with Mr. Miracle himself. My journey moved on. So I realized through the journey, a lot of people succumb to medical errors. They go to hospital, one thing leads to another, leads to bigger disease. So I built another firm called HealthPlix, where we have a vision of minimizing medical errors and we do clinical software for doctors. That HealthPlix, because there's a passion, there's an inner fire that we talk about, right? So today, HealthPlix is India's largest electronic medical record software. 5% of entire India is treated by us. And we take that every single consultation opportunity that we are driving health outcomes better. So phenomenal, a dozen odd years of healthcare experience that I've had since that dark, stormy night that I spoke about, right? So now when you look at any success from far off, it looks like a smooth curve. If I look at the hockey stick part of the curve, right, it looks like life was rosy, easy. There was a failure, there was a bottomless pit, they come out of it, it's all rosy, right? That's how it seems like. But reality is far from it. If I zoom in there, you will see the curve is back. You still need to battle ups and downs. You still need to walk around, make it a success. The fire cannot stop. Right? This is what happens. Now, let me share one last pivotal moment in the success of the entrepreneurial journey that I've had. So back in 2011, when we had 2 centers in Hyderabad at NephroPlus. So we started off with a vision of saying that we will be a premium standalone dialysis centers. Underline the word premium, right? It was so difficult for us to find patients who would come to a standalone center, right? We were struggling. What is going to happen? Where is NephroPlus heading to? All of that, right? But one day, while I was sitting in my cabin, there's a lot of commotion in the reception. I rush out to see what is this all chaos about. And I see there is a average middle-aged man, very lean, shaking vigorously, and his wife crying inconsolably. Right? We realize that the man needs dialysis. We quickly rush him to the dialysis unit. He gets dialysis. I offer this lady a glass of water, console her, and then ask her to share a story with me. She tells me she came The couple came from Mehboob roughly around 100 kilometers from Hyderabad, to get dialysis. Those days, there were no dialysis centers in Mehboob. This is 2011, right? So, this particular family was a middle income class family, right? So, it was quickly became poor on dialysis because dialysis is an expensive disease to treat. This gentleman lost his job because of kidney failure. He cannot work anymore. And he begins to think that, I have very little to make our ends meet, right? It's a tough life for a kidney failed patient. So he starts skipping dialysis sessions in between. For all of us, kidneys work all through. It doesn't take holidays. But for dialysis patients, when they don't undergo dialysis session every time, water accumulates in the body, toxins accumulate in the body, right? So this day, he was already a couple of sessions late. He's feeling extreme breathlessness because of water accumulation in the body. They get onto a train that can come to Hyderabad. So on one side, he sees the train is going fast to go to Hyderabad. On the other side, he feels breathlessness is becoming too much to bear. Right? All the emotions, all the financial trouble that he and his family has had to undergo dawns upon him. Emotions take over his logical thought process. He does the insane thing, unthinkable. He tries to jump off the train. Luckily for him, his wife pulls him back with a collar, and there they were in the treatment. That day, we decided we will be in Mehboob Nagar, right? We set up a center in Mehboob Nagar. And since then, we have heard hundreds of such stories where poor people needed dialysis in the cities that we were not looking at, right? We have set up hundreds of such centers for every story that we heard like that. So no wonder NephroPlus is a success. Now, students, I'm going to leave you guys with this thought. Miracles come in various forms and shapes, often very well disguised, beyond our imagination. It could be like a stormy night, a powerful thought that came to me. It could be like a stranger like Kamal. It could be like this poor man who tried to commit suicide. But the question is, when you're pushed to wall, when pivotal moments are out there, are you tuned in? Do you have faith and belief in yourself? Please do. And if you do, you guys will see the miracle. In fact, you will be the miracle. Thank you.